Picture this, you're closing on your dream house, or maybe you're finally funding that big investment account. You type in your bank details, hit submit on that urgent wire transfer, and wait. Instead of clearing, the transaction fails. The funds bounce. Well, welcome to today's Explainer, where we're going to tackle a crucial financial task that causes entirely avoidable headaches. We are finding your exact U.S. bank routing number online to make sure your digital banking and wire transfers literally never fail.
So why exactly did that urgent wire transfer bounce? Well, knowing your routing number isn't just some trivial banking trivia. It's honestly the fundamental pipeline of your digital finances. A massive, high-stakes mistake people make every single day is using their standard regional routing number for a domestic wire transfer. They just look at the bottom of a check, type that number in, and boom, their wire gets rejected. We're going to solve that mystery right now and show you exactly where to look so you get it right the first time.
Here's our roadmap for today. We'll start with the routing number trap, cover some ABA routing basics, give you step-by-step instructions for both the online banking website and the US Bank mobile app, and then wrap things up with FAQs, support options, and a few quick disclaimers.
All right, let's jump right into Section 1, the routing number trap.
So here's the core problem that trips up so many people. Standard ACH routing numbers, the ones you use for direct deposits or paying your credit card bills, are highly regional. But domestic wire transfers, they operate on a completely different high-speed network. You see, US Bank actually centralizes all of its domestic wires through a main hub in Minneapolis. Because of this, for a domestic wire, you absolutely must use their centralized routing number, which is 0910000022. If you try to just guess your routing number based on an old paper check when you're sending a wire, you're really risking reverse transactions and some pretty hefty administrative fees.
Moving right along to Section 2, ABA routing basics.
Let's take a quick step back and define what exactly we're looking for here. An ABA routing number is a 9-digit numerical code assigned by the American Bankers Association. You can really just think of it as the financial geographic address for your bank. It tells the Federal Reserve and other banking networks exactly which institution should be receiving the funds. Traditionally, you'd find this printed right there on the bottom left corner of your personal checks.
Now, what's super fascinating about US Bank is how they handle these numbers. Since they're the 5th largest commercial bank in the country, built on a long history of consolidating legacy regional banks all across the Midwest and West, their system is geographically decentralized. The absolute crucial takeaway here is that your standard routing number is permanently tied to the state where you originally opened the account. So, if you open your checking account in Ohio, but you move to California 5 years later, your routing number is actually still the Ohio number. It is completely permanent.
Because of this regional history, guessing your number is pretty much impossible. As you can see, a Northern California account uses a completely different 9-digit identifier than an account opened in Colorado or Ohio. And if you opened your account purely online or you live in an unlisted jurisdiction, you'll likely just default to that primary Minneapolis number. Bottom line, never guess, always look it up.
Let's move into Section 3, the online banking website.
If you're sitting at your computer, finding this number is a total breeze. First, you just log in securely to onlinebanking.usbank.com. Then, select your checking or savings account right from the main dashboard. Look at the top details tile, and you'll spot your masked account number. Just click that show icon. It usually looks like a little eye. And bam, your exact 9-digit routing number will instantly appear right beneath it. It really is that simple.
But what if you're on the go? That brings us to Section 4, the US Bank mobile app. Using the US Bank mobile app makes this just as easy, if not easier. First, log in using your password or biometrics and tap the specific account right from your dashboard. Next, tap that Manage tab located on the screen. Finally, just tap Account and Routing Number to view your full details. And you know what makes this such a great user experience? The app gives you a super convenient copy button right there on the screen. You can literally copy your exact routing number to your phone's clipboard and just paste it directly into whatever payment form or direct deposit setup you're working on.
But honestly, my absolute favorite feature of the mobile app has to be this. If you don't even want to tap through menus, you can just use the US Bank Smart Assistant. Tap the little microphone icon at the bottom of the screen and literally ask, "What's the routing number for my checking account?" The conversational chat window pops right up, confirms which account you're talking about, and hands you your routing number on a silver platter. It is a brilliant piece of modern banking tech.
All right, Section 5, FAQs and support options. Let's clear up the single most frequently asked question in the banking world. What is the exact difference between these two numbers?
Think of the routing number as identifying the financial institution itself. It's basically the zip code for the bank, and it's the same for everyone in your region. Your account number, on the other hand, identifies your specific individual financial ledger. It is completely unique to you. And remember, you always need both of these to complete a transaction.
And hey, remember how we talked about domestic wires earlier? Well, if you are receiving money from overseas, forget about that 9-digit routing number entirely. International wires do not use ABA routing numbers at all. Instead, they rely on a global system. You have to provide the sender with the 11-character U.S. Bank SWIFT code, which is USBK US44IMT. Trust me, sending an international wire with a domestic routing number is a surefire way to lose days of processing time.
Now, we all know technology isn't perfect. If you happen to be locked out of your online banking, you still have some really excellent backup options. You can call 24-hour banking support directly at 800 U.S. Banks. That's 872-2657. If you can log in but maybe can't find the right menus, you can always open a PDF of your past e-statements or view digital images of cleared checks to grab those numbers. And of course, you can always visit a local physical branch for in-person help, or check the bottom left corner of a paper checkbook if you still have one lying around.
Before we wrap up the main content, we definitely need to talk about security. Your routing and account numbers are literally the keys to your financial castle. That's exactly why US Bank deliberately masks this information behind those eye icons on the desktop and hides them in specific submenus on mobile. It prevents what we call shoulder surfing if you happen to open your app in public. On top of that, anytime you enter a routing number into US Bank systems, their tech dynamically validates it in real time against the Federal Reserve Directory. They take protecting your data incredibly seriously.
Which brings us to our final stop, Section 6, Disclaimers and Conclusion. As we wrap up this explainer, please keep a few vital, professional disclaimers in the back of your mind. Whenever you're sending large sums of money, always verify the specific wire instructions directly with the beneficiary or your local bank branch. Bank policies, routing directories, and digital interfaces are absolutely subject to change and update over time. So, double-checking is really your best defense against errors. Keep your routing and account numbers strictly confidential. And hey, if you found this step-by-step breakdown helpful, be sure to hit that subscribe button for more evergreen practical financial guidance.
So you've learned all about the regional routing trap. You know the specific centralized code you need for domestic wires, and you know exactly which buttons to tap on both your computer and your phone to find your unique numbers. Now that you know exactly where to look, what financial task will you conquer today? Get out there, log in safely, and take full control of your digital finances. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I will see you in the next one.